And I'm going to do this a little bit differently in the sense that I'm going to go live with my personal LinkedIn account after we go over some of the elements and the descriptions in here, because I think it's really helpful to have a visual along with whatever you're going over. So thanks everybody for joining. Can anybody please confirm that they can see my PowerPoint screen? Can everybody see my PowerPoint?
Yes, I can see it.
Awesome, thank you. And for everybody who just joined, Claire had to be out of the office today. That's why I'm stepping in here. But she'll be back tomorrow and she'll be teaching the rest of the classes this week. So you're only stuck with me here for today. So aren't you guys in for a little treat here? So today's class, we're going to be talking about leveraging LinkedIn to build your social brand. It's really important, guys, to have those elements very detailed and very specific to how you service your market. I personally go LinkedIn stalk pretty much every single agent before I meet them, because I think it's really important to see what your background is and in those elements. I also think whenever people are researching an agent, LinkedIn is one of those really overlooked places that agents think that they have the information as up to date as possible. But the background and the information that's on those, it's not just about those current roles, but it's about those relatability elements in there. So I'm going to hopefully, there, it's going to click onto the next one on here. So today's really going to cover a lot of those basic ones on there, such as building into your LinkedIn profile. Like I said, as people were joining, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is some of the descriptions of some of these elements. And then I'm going to show you live with some of my personal LinkedIn, how I actually used some of this to leverage and build into my business. It's going to look very text heavy, guys, but I'm going to send you guys the PDF of these notes on the back end, as well as the recording after this call. So you guys have that as an additional reference points on there. So when building your LinkedIn profile, guys, let's see here. A couple of the elements on here, the beautiful thing about LinkedIn is the customization opportunities. It is one of those more text heavy element sites versus storytelling. I think that's kind of the interesting element that a lot of people overlook, is it's kind of like a digital resume for you guys. Whereas Facebook has most of that, timeline sort of activity is the majority of time where people spend their feeds. LinkedIn, a lot of that time is spent just previewing your individual profiles. So having some of these elements lined up, you're really creating a beautiful digital resume that someone can click and view on you. So background banner. I'll show you again, this live is a photo that you guys can put beyond just the photo that you have on yours. So if you're looking for good background photos, some recommendations Claire has for you guys is to include such as the city's skyline, I cannot talk, for sale signs, your office space info, using this as an element in order to showcase where you community. So having like a really nice snapshot photo. I will tell you guys that BrandServe has really great ones that you guys can choose from. Facebook covers and Twitter covers are a different dimension than LinkedIn covers, but you can recrop and resize things in LinkedIn to be compatible. So that's a nice way that if you guys like one of those, but they show only Facebook on there, I'll show you that live, how you guys can customize those specs. I would also tell you that if you have a gorgeous old listing concierge photo, why not use that as an example as a back cover of a way to showcase what you guys have sold previously. Profile photo. My photo is out of date because it was taken when I first started the company, so my hair is about 6 inches shorter, but it's still nice to have a professional up-to-date photo. So I would consider keeping this the consistent photo that you have on your Facebook page, so your business page there, as well as the ones that's on your business card. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to look and find somebody and seeing all these different photos for them. It's helpful to see the same consistent branded photo across those boards. So if you have one-on-one, I would personally recommend keeping it consistent on all of them, because there might be a possibility that they could click and see that and see it's the incorrect photo. Headline. Your headline is what shows every time you post and is locally located directly under your name on your profile. It is no longer than 120 characters and is a short introduction about yourself. Claire did the hard work for us and gave us an example of showing that she had real estate agent at Coldwell Banker Realty. So 120 characters, guys, that's really not a lot. That's half of a tweet if you're looking at the character count very specifically on there. So having just an example of having real estate agent at Coldwell Banker Realty, you're saying what you do and where you are and just a quick snapshot. Contact information. Oh my gosh, guys, this is huge. I think of this whenever if you meet somebody at an open house, they tell you that, yeah, my name is Joe Smith, I work at Dell. Well, you may not be able to gather in all that information. Maybe they give you the phone number was one digit off, or their email, they're not responding to your emails. Being able to LinkedIn stalk people based off of this information can be a great way to work backwards off of leads. But for you personally, if someone is looking for you, it's helpful to have that information as well. So think of adding your In Touch website. Your phone number is definitely a big one, guys. Address, you can always link in your office address on there if you're not comfortable putting your personal address, which I would not recommend. Email address and your birthday. Make sure that you guys keep this information as up to date as possible. So think again, this is a presence of a digital gift, digital business card or a digital resume that you're presenting to people. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Custom URL. This was something that I didn't know about until I started looking professionally in the workforce after I finished my master's program, guys. And I was given this advice from my recruiter who I was visiting with about just with Indeed, and I was asking like, what can I do if I didn't get this job? What can I do to make myself look better? And he said you can add a custom URL to pretty much every social media channel you have, and by having those be consistent and be the same, and having them be clean URLs, you can then use them on, your business cards, you can use them on your resume, and people don't have to type in weird special characteristics on there. So I thought that was amazing, and I was super excited that Claire had that on there as well. It's another way for you to consistently brand yourself if you have the same handle on one thing, to have it be consistent across the board. About section. Again, this is separate from the headline, guys. This is another opportunity for you guys to showcase your expertise. If you have any criteria, maybe you're a relocation specialist, maybe you're a military specialist. I always use senior real estate specialist because in Austin we have a community called Sun City, which is primarily a retired community, and so I like to reference that as another touch point on those. Featured. This is an example of something I wasn't sure about, but I'm excited to learn about, is to adding into the best posts, the best documents. So maybe you have a digital certificate, you won $1 million a month in your office, or you won the awards with our last award seasons, guys. These are great opportunities to really provide those snapshots of what makes you the best agent for this person when they're looking for you. And experience, guys. Claire's recommendation is to keep your experience descriptions short. You don't need to include as many details as your resume, but be sure to write your experience from a first person's perspective and in a conversational tone. So that's really nice advice, guys, to have that be, talking about yourself and talking about those different opportunities that way. Education. Provide the higher education schooling that you've received, including school that you've attended, that help prepare you for your real estate license. I feel like this is a really commonly overlooked one whenever I meet with an agent and I'm helping them work on their bio or I'm helping them with different elements. A lot of them will only talk about their real estate experience, but won't talk about the four-year degree they got from UT. And I just think, why not? Why miss those opportunities when you spent all this time working so hard to get, to get where you were professionally? Have that opportunity on paper for them to be able to reference. I'm a Texas Tech girl. I have 2 degrees from there, proud to say, guns up. But I think that is a huge relationship building the thing that I can do, that whenever somebody is looking on me on LinkedIn and they see that, maybe they're also a Texas Tech grad. So those little connections can make a big difference on there. Skills and endorsement. Guys, we're talking about opportunities for people to leave you reviews, and I think people endorsing you on LinkedIn is a severely overlooked one. It's an opportunity for people who you've helped in very specific areas and opportunities to help bring up you as an additional search opportunities. So I'll show you this live here, guys, but this can really help with those relatability opportunities. My background was also primarily in social media. And so a lot of my keywords and my endorsements were related to my social media activities. So you can get people who have reviewed you, who you've done business with in the past, review you based off of certain credibility skills that you input on those. Now, I don't know this for certain, but I do not know if they can endorse you for a skill that you do not have listed on your LinkedIn profile. So I would pretty much, I personally would encourage you to make sure that you have those on as detailed as possible. And recommendations. You can give recommendations as well as receive recommendations on LinkedIn, guys. So it's important, I think, that if you're reaching out to somebody or maybe you're connecting with another agent you've worked with previously, I think it's important that you maybe leave them a positive review if you had a really great experience with them. Not so that way in the hopes that you get one back, but so that way it shows that you're very tech savvy and you would like to do that repeat opportunities. The networking opportunities within LinkedIn is a really great way to keep track of people. And then lastly, guys, accomplishments. So again, we just had awards season happen. So that's a really nice way to update those to include those awards. If you are $1 Million a Month ones, you do know about that. You should know about that once a month whenever you qualify for that. Anything that really sets you apart on those. As a marketing team, we have what are called social media request forms. So if you guys are ever doing anything amazing in your community, we do like to brag and showcase you guys. And so I think it's important that you guys share those opportunities with your field marketing team in the hopes that maybe we can pick up some PR for you guys. And when you have those, we can then try and get you those coverage, share those links with you, and you can post those on LinkedIn for you. Those are just really great, important ways that you can set yourself apart from the competition. Does anybody have any questions before I keep going? Okay, LinkedIn content strategy. This is some of Claire's tips and best practices on how to be successful within LinkedIn. The goal is to post on LinkedIn 3 times a week. So some opportunities there, guys, is making sure that you post whenever you win an award, if you've gotten some certificates, maybe some marketing stats. So whenever we all know that the market's a little crazy right now. I know it is in Austin, but you guys can really post and let people know how the trends are going within those. The area reports and Prospect Square are great, gorgeous stats that are updated every single month for you guys. The county level ones are updated once a quarter, so those can make great content as well. And remember, any in-touch piece that you guys put together can be shared on social media, including LinkedIn. And then the final one that I would recommend, guys, is Clients for Life has the ability to be automatically posted on LinkedIn. And so I would definitely make sure that you connect your Clients for Life pieces to LinkedIn, so that way you can have that be an automatic post for you guys. Create a content calendar and stick to it. Definitely recommend this, guys. There's free calendars built in for you guys on Word that you can use. You can find them pretty easily online. I also am a big fan of Hootsuite because it creates a digital calendar for you guys. But by creating a calendar that you can post and make sure that everything is consistently on everything, it's a really wonderful way for you to be able to keep track of those. Clara also says on here that Tuesday through Thursday are the best days to post. She does not give us a time on those, but it's nice to know that those are her recommended days. And then make sure that you interact and comment with other people's posts. I love LinkedIn on my mobile device because the mobile app has predictive text for you. So if you get an alert saying that John Smith started a new job, you can like the post, which is a good, it has the like, the heart, and all those kind of like how Facebook does. But it also gives you recommended comments as well, which I think is really nice because if you're like me and you're drinking your coffee, checking all these, accounts, it's nice to have predictive messages on there. So that's why I'm a big fan of the mobile app, because I can see and kind of know what's going on there. And then making sure that you are replying to any comments on your posts. Whenever you are commenting or replying to comments on people's posts, guys, it's causing you to show up on their feed as well as your own. So having that dialogue, you're able to then branch out and connect to who they're a part of and move out on the spider web that way. Message people directly if they comment on your post and you are not connections. So again, if people are following you, which again sounds really creepy, guys, but if people are following you or if they are not directly connected with you, so if they're a friend with one of the people you're friends with and saw the post, they can still comment on those. So, of course, you can send them a request to be their friend on LinkedIn or their connection on LinkedIn. But I think it's also important that you interact with those people and see what they're doing too. You can also message people who view your profile. Now there is such thing as LinkedIn premium profiles, guys, so you won't be able to see everybody who views your profile, but I think it's really important that when somebody previews your profile, I always get an email alert so that way I know what's going on. I also have the app on my phone, so I get a little notification like Facebook whenever anything is going on my LinkedIn. And I think it's really important that you guys message people who follow you. If you don't know who they are, it's important to say, like, hey, thanks for taking a look at my profile. If you have any needs in the real estate market, just know I'm here for you, and then put your contact information on there. They may be a buyer or seller looking to move to the area. And then message any new followers to say thank you for following. Claire has put a link in here for you guys to be able to look at those opportunities as well. Types of content to post. So again, the real estate statistics, guys, I love the area reports within Prospect Square because I think they're a beautiful snapshot of those, and it has your contact information within those reports. Those are also stagnant URLs that update month over month with information. So if you're using any sort of scheduling feature to post these stats, to post on social media, it's nice to have those URLs kind of be the same and you don't have to re-pull them every single time. I know that our Austin Board of Realtors also creates infographics for those. I'm not sure if they do in the other metros. I'm sure they do. But I like the fact that it's a clickable link. I think it looks a little bit sharper. And then it has your contact information. Local real estate news or updates. So the example over here on the side, guys, is Lisa Hassel is one of our awards agents. Yay. And so having this be a nice detailed update report on what's going on. Other local real estate news, guys, is, and again, I apologize, I'm an Austin girl, so I'm going to keep using Austin examples. But with Tesla moving here, any expansions onto I-35, those big things of those big companies, you're thinking of why people are moving to the city that you're servicing in, and they want to know what's going on. So if you know about any new infrastructures, any new HEBs going in, those little pieces of information are really valuable nuggets for people who are looking to relocate to the area. Here's also an example of a personal professional achievement of Lisa winning this awards criteria, which was amazing. Home renovation tips. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we have an amazing program called Real Vitalize that allows you to help with sellers getting homes ready. We don't necessarily need that always in the market that we're in right now, but I think posting information about Real Vitalize as an opportunity could be a great asset for you guys. There are Real Vitalize pieces within InTouch, there is within InTouch, but within BrandServe, that if you're looking for a graphic to go along with those posts, you can do that. Local business spotlights. There are also small business shout out posts within BrandServe, guys, that you guys can customize and do those. Corporate business changes in your area. Leander is an area outside of Austin, guys, and they're apparently building a $1 billion infrastructure or something like that I saw the other day. So posting about like resorts and opportunities like that coming to the area can be really huge. And new laws or regulations. So if you guys know about any new laws or regulations, I guess that's also a really awesome recommendation. Does anybody have any questions? All right, LinkedIn tips and tricks. Here are a couple of really good tricks that she has on here for us, guys. LinkedIn posts with images gets twice the engagement. So again, utilizing something like BrandServe that gives you an image graphic to go along with your post can really be compelling. LinkedIn users are also 20 times more likely to reshare a video post. So those of you who are using Listing Concierge, you do get a video slideshow of your property. They also automatically get posted to our company YouTube channel for you, so you can always pull and post those, or you can upload those directly. How to and lists of posts to perform best on platforms. So how to get your home ready for the market, how to buy a home, how to get pre-approved. You could work with your local GRA rep on putting some of those pieces together and maybe do a co-post and get the benefits of both their followers that way. Make your titles between 40 and 49 characters long. I think that makes them take up the entire line space on there, which is really nice. Don't write questions on your post header. People like to read long form content on LinkedIn. So 1900 to 2000 words. That's roughly about 2 paragraphs, guys. So a little bit more daunting on writing that stuff, but you can see where that's a little bit longer than something like Facebook, where you can have a little bit more detailed on those. List at least 5 relevant skills on your profile. Be sure to link your IABS and TREC forms onto your profile. And you don't need a business page as a realtor. I can attest to this a little bit, guys, that there are LinkedIn business pages. It does look here that Claire is recommending that you guys stick and make sure that you have a professional business page, but if you would like a business profile on LinkedIn, but if you're looking to do a business page, I'm sure she's going to be doing a 2.0 on this very soon, that she can go a little bit more depth on that. And ensure every single section of your profile is complete. And she is recommending, and she did say this on the last time I sat in on her teaching this call, that using more than 3 hashtags can result in your post on LinkedIn being declared as spam. So you may be a little bit cautious on which ones you use on there to make sure that they're the most relevant ones for there. Now, does anybody have any questions before I go live? You guys are very quiet today. All right. Can you guys see my LinkedIn page? Can someone confirm?
Yeah, yes, I see it.
Awesome. I was like, oh no, I hope people can. When I click on LinkedIn right here, guys, you can see linkedin.com/feed. This is the feed post. So this is like my timeline, just like on Facebook, where you can see all those. I love that they have like a little LinkedIn news section, so that way you guys can see what's trending. And if you wanted to make a post relative to one of these things, you can. I can also browse here and see what my items look like, who's been viewing my posts, who has been viewing my profile. If I go up here and I click on my profile, guys, you can see here that I put a header photo. This is one that I got from BrandServe. So if I click the edit bar, this one was originally one that was designed for Facebook, but because of the cropping capabilities within LinkedIn, I was able to use this exact one, but I could have zoomed in if I wanted to. I could have, you may go upside down if I wanted to pretend I was in, what was it, Stranger Things when they go into the upside down. I could do some filtering and other opportunities that way. And as I'm
how do you bring that? I'm sorry. How do
okay,
you bring over the photo, the background?
that's a great question. If you go to the edit bar, I'm going to delete this photo and I'll show you from scratch. Is if I go here to the photo bar, I can then to upload photo.
Okay.
And then mine's just right here in my downloads. I just did it right before this call. Does that answer your question?
Okay. And so if you get that from BrandServe, then you would have to bring it over and download it from BrandServe first?
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And you can hit apply there. And you can use, this one's just a BrandServe photo, but you can use, if you have a gorgeous skyline of your city, this one's one from Austin, but I did see a couple from DFW and Houston in there as well. It really doesn't look that much like Austin to me, so I may change up this photo, but unsplash.com is another royalty-free website that I like to use as reference points. There's some really nice ones of Austin. I'm sure there's equally good ones of Houston and Dallas on there as well. As I'm scrolling down, guys, you can see that I've been posting a couple things. I have 285 followers. I have my relevant activities, so places that I worked previously. I have my education on there, any certifications I've acquired. Volunteer and activism are a really important thing for me, so having those on there has been a really nice thing as well. When I had the endorsements, guys, you can see where I have been endorsed on some of my activities on there. And I have given 2 recommendations, and I can ask to receive any. I can see any of my accomplishments, as well as any interests that I have. So again, as I scroll up here to the top, guys, the last real trick I'll show you guys is when I go to this edit bar, you can see where I have my first name, my last name, my maiden name, I have that on there as well. My headline, I have that on here, as well as my current position and my education. If I go down here to the contact info, I can hit the pencil again, And this is where I have both my phone number on here. I chose not to have my birthday on mine, but Claire recommended it, so maybe I'll go ahead and add that. You can see that it does leave off the year, so as I'm getting old, I'm really appreciating that my birthday will not be, my year will not be advertised on there. And then you can see here as well where I have, where if you did not have a LinkedIn URL finalized, you could do that here. But you can see where I just decided to make mine my first and last name for the sake of easy and simplicity. But if I wanted to add a website, I could hit add website, and I could choose what type of website I wanted to add as well. I hit remove on those. And when I hit apply, I then have to go to the save button, and it's saving in my profile. Now, the last thing, I keep saying that, guys, but the last thing I'll show you here is if I go to more, I can always send it as a PDF. I can share in my profile in a message. I can also, let's see, I'm trying to do open to, let's see, I can go to view profile. Is that where I'm trying to go? I'm sorry, guys. I want to show you one nice thing I figured out, but I don't know if I know where it is. More. Oh, shoot. Where is it? There's a way on here, guys, that you can view your profile as a professional, so that way you can see what it looks like, but I don't remember where it is. And now I am just flustered here, guys. Well, there is, or there was a button that I thought was really helpful, guys, that you could, let me see here. I believe, oh shoot, I don't want to waste time looking for that when we could be going over other things, guys, but there was a button that you could preview and see what your profile looked like from the outside perspective, which I thought was really nice, so that way you can have that as a reference point on there. But you can see these are my featured items that I have on here, guys. If I wanted to, I could delete these. I'm going to leave them there. This is where I've added my about on there. But by adding any of these profile sections, they've made it quite straightforward for you to be able to add those. Oh, Audrey, do you have another question?
Yes. What are good things to put under featured?
Under featured, so I would think of maybe if you have any good articles, maybe a link back to your website. If you're
Okay.
maybe your county level market quarterly reports from Prospect Square, so people know what's going on in the counties you serve.
Ah, okay. Because I would add the Prospect Square stuff as a post, so it's good to just like a monthly feature then.
I would, yes, because
Okay.
that information will update every
Okay.
single month. That's a great question.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. I also like that it has that ability for you to be able to see anybody who's viewed. So again, when I go to this notifications, guys, I can get a little summary of people who I'm friends with to see what's going on. I can see that somebody has been viewing my profile, so I can go through and I can stalk those people. But does anybody, and so if I see people who viewed your profile, I can see that some people have viewed my profile in the last 30 days, but I can go back and I can look a little further back on those to see those. But you can see, since I'm not a premium user, that I can't see some of them. But for the ones who I can see, it's really helpful to be able to go back and stalk them as well. Does anybody have anything else for me? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stop recording here. I'll send this recording as well as the slide deck. And I'm so sorry you guys were stuck with me today instead of Claire. She'll be back tomorrow. I'm looking at let me look here on Sales Pro real fast. Tomorrow, she's going to be teaching a class on navigating video marketing at 10 a.m. So she'll be back with us, and she'll be doing a great job there. So if you guys need anything, don't be a stranger, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.